Real people, real opinions, real talk radio. The multi-award-winning Niall Boylan Show.
Ireland's classic hits.
My heart goes out to the people of Cork tonight. Fiona, hi, how are you?
I'm good, Niall. I'm one of the lucky ones.
You're one of the lucky ones, it seems,
I'm
because
up high.
I'm looking at the Irish Examiner here and some of the photographs are, it's mental. It looks like a swampland. I mean, it's underwater, a lot of Cork.
My nephew sent a video earlier on of his estate. Yeah, you'd have to go in and out of that in a canoe. That's in Glanmire.
Okay.
Middleton is equally as bad, and I believe the Army are down in both areas now at the moment.
Okay.
So I think once the tides came in then as well, you can imagine things got worse.
This has been
Because
happening
they
for
left
years
the
in
city.
Cork. And you know what?
Nothing like this, Niall.
No, I know.
Completely different.
I know.
Yeah.
But for years and years and years, we've been telling the government that, you know, if you get a bad storm, which coincides with a high tide, we see what happens in Cork every single time. Why aren't they doing something about it? For years, we've been asking them to do something about this. And it was only a matter of time before you had a really bad one. The last bad one was what, about 3 years ago? Was it 4 years ago?
Could have been. And
Yeah.
like there's other areas in the city, outside the city. Mallow used to get it very bad as well. So I'm not sure how they got it today, to be truthful.
Mm-hmm.
Just most of the coast roads I did today, and like to see the wall down as you're driving and you're looking at the wall gone next to you, looking into the sea.
Wow.
It was frightening.
Yeah, I'd say it is frightening.
That was frightening.
And here's the
You know?
bad news, Fiona, for all those people who are currently in floods. It doesn't look like the rain's going to stop. This storm
No.
is set to continue, according to the weather forecast. Hopefully they're wrong this time. It's set to continue till Saturday.
That's right.
You know, so this is going to get,
Yeah.
unfortunately, now depending on the tides, of course, as well. As you know, a lot of it depends on the tides.
Yeah.
You know, if there's a high tide, again, between now and Saturday, we're in a lot of trouble.
Which we do seem to be getting the high tides. I'm not sure now, because normally I'd ring I'd have friends, we'd say down by the coast. Crosshaven got it bad. Carrigaline got it horrendous. So you were talking about all those areas. They couldn't get into the city either.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So the river just came up in all those areas. Again, Niall, as you say, our government are well aware of all these areas for years. Middleton, Carrigaline. I listen to that every year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just this has been like, whoa.
This is the worst. Yeah, I'm looking at the photographs there, and look, I've seen some of the videos there during the break, and it's really bad. I actually seen somebody in a boat on the street, in a little canoe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, so when I did get back to the city today, I came back down the country. So I left from Waterford over towards Mooncoin direction, and down, we say, the main road, because it would have been the only safest way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's
It was-
texting and says, "No, is this climate change?" No,
The
it's just
red
bad
alert
weather.
went out a bit late.
Yeah, it's
You
it's
know?
climate change, for God's sake. It's just a bad storm. It's unfortunate.
It was a
Yeah.
bad storm. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
And
a
it's
bad
set to,
storm.
and sadly set to continue for another few days, so it's going to get a lot worse. And it'll probably be the worst we've seen in many years. Although, you know, many years ago, going back 40, 50 years ago, there was some very serious floods in Cork. But it is set to get a lot worse, sadly, for those people. Stay there for a second, because Colin, you're also in Cork as well.
How's it going, Niall? Yeah. So I think there was a month's rain fell in one day so far.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Glanmire, as that lady was saying, is very bad at the moment. Middleton is bad. The hospital in Middleton is flooded. There were beds floating inside the hospital and wheelchairs I saw online today. And city centre in town is very bad. I had to ask the college lady, you know, the person who run the college today. I'd ask, like, you know, are we going to be open tomorrow? Because the rain is going to continue until Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to carry on until Saturday. So it's not getting any better, like, you know.
No, it's not. It's not going to get any better. If anything, it's probably going to get worse. Now, it may abate a little bit tomorrow because the tides will drop, and that reduces the ground, what they call groundwater level, But in saying that, it's not going to help when the tides come back in again.
Yeah,
if it's still raining.
Even already, like there's a couple of billion now to be put into this, like, to get it fixed. Like, I was reading, you know, on one of the papers online.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking here, by the way, that already the government is set to provide funding to help those impacted by the severe flooding in Cork. and I see a picture there, by the way, of Rutland Street in Cork City, which is it's like a river. It doesn't look like a street at all. It looks like a canal in Venice. You know, Cork City looks like Venice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It took me 4 routes to leave the city this morning, and to come home after work, I was diverted and maybe about another 15 kilometres to do a 2-minute spin.
yeah, I know.
You know, it was just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I sent in a picture just tonight to you guys. It was just of a record store, which is kind of in a basement, and it's down a few steps. But the flooding is coming up probably 3 or 4 steps from the ground up all the steps. So the record store is completely flooded. Hopefully none of the records got destroyed, like, you know.
Yeah.
That's
I see a photograph. Is that your photograph that you sent me there, Fiona, of the wall knockdown? Was that you?
That was me driving that time this morning, yeah.
Yeah, I see that photograph there, yeah.
So that was like, as you're driving, we'd say from Youghal to Dungarvan.
Yeah.
And the road gets a little bit narrow there. You're just past that bridge. And when the wall was, and you see the floods, it's coming down from the fields. You could have been swept into the sea and no one would have known you were gone. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And a landslide down the Glountowne Road, down from the side of the bridge, muck, stones, boulders, all onto the road. It was unbelievable.
Now, somebody sent in a message here and said the army have been deployed to Middleton and Cork. Are the army there now? Do you know?
They have been sent earlier. They have been sent earlier to put up borders. What you call them, the sandbags.
Yeah.
The barriers.
Yeah, around the place. Yeah, they're the ones. Yeah. So they were deployed. They were sent out earlier. Yeah, I read that as well online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know
crazy.
the local politicians, particularly the Tim Lombard, who's a Cork South West senator, has said millions of euros will be required to support residents and businesses, particularly businesses, of course, which are going to be very badly affected by this as well. You know.
Well, there will be. It's a few feet deep, like, you know. It's a few feet up like.
I know. That's I'm looking at somebody wading through it here. It's not like it's just a little, a small flood.
No.
It's up to this lad's hips.
Like, you know, it's huge, like, you know. It's really.
And again, it's not just the city; it's a vast area.
Compared to the city, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, look, I got to say once again, I'm sorry to hear that, Colin and Fiona. It's your city, and I'm sorry to hear it's so badly damaged by this. And hopefully the rain will stop. But I'm not very hopeful about that, to be honest with you. I think it's good.
But you know what we're like down here, Niall. We'll fight back. We'll be back again.
Thankfully, Dublin didn't get
out our snorkels.
Yeah, Dublin didn't get it as bad. You know, that's because God likes Dublin.
I'm heading that way tomorrow, thank God.
Real people, real opinions, real talk radio. The multi-award winning Niall Boylan Show.